Hello everyone, welcome back to the Von Psychic channel. It has been a minute since I have uploaded anything. That is because I have been doing some healing, going through some personal health stuff, and I won't bore you with those details, but just doing some healing and doing some personal stuff, and still trying to stay active with my community on here. I started doing some community posting, blah blah blah, and all the other platforms, but that's okay. We don't need to get into that. Today we're talking about the amygdala and the effects it has on our emotional responses to trauma, and how we can try and get back to a place of normalcy within our lives and living our lives, okay? So just a quick rundown about my past. If some of you have been following my channel for a while, thank you so much for staying with me during this journey. If you haven't, please go back through my video history and watch my addressing the past video. It talks about the trauma I've been through in my life, and I'll give you a quick rundown about now what I have been through in the past. It's always hard to talk about, and it always makes me a bit uncomfortable, but hey, if I can get through it, you can get through it, because some people have probably been through way worse than I have, but what I have been through is still tremendous, okay? So yes, it's hard to talk about. And a part of doing this video was actually trying to find the source of when something is triggered regarding my pain or trauma from the past. Why do I react to it like it's just happened over and over again? Why does it happen? For example, I drive past an ex's house or area where they live, and the whole trauma of the whole relationship comes up again, and it feels like it's happening to me at the very moment that I'm traveling through that town. That was just an example, or a triggering word, or a smell, or someone mentioned them in passing. There's always something that will trigger those memories and make you feel like you're reliving that trauma over and over again. So I wanted to get to the bottom of why this happens, and how we can actually try and get past that and heal these parts of our brains, okay? So I've done my research. I'm also studying a Bachelor of Psychological Science now at university. I'm getting to university, well done me. I've always been fascinated by the human psyche, by the human brain, and I've always wanted to understand human behavior and patterns, how your brain works basically. And now I'm studying it. I have done NLP coaching, which is life coaching. And now I'm taking it one step further and doing a Bachelor of Psychological Science at uni. So it's going to take a while, but I'm very excited to get that done. Anyway, so back to our amygdala and trauma, okay? So just rundown of the trauma I've been through. Started in childhood when I was 7 years old. My father abandoned or left the family, so I felt abandoned. My mother had to make up for the lack of income coming in, so she was constantly at work, and from the age of 12 onwards, I was left by myself for quite long hours. I'd go home from school and she wasn't there because she had to work. She had to provide for us, so I felt abandoned there as well. Even though she was physically out providing for me and hadn't abandoned me, I felt abandoned by her because she was never there. She had to work and make up for the lack of income coming in. So that again made me feel alone, insecure and abandoned. They are my childhood traumas. From them, I've actually developed unhealthy, loving styles. So I'm actually going to do a pick a card on this one as well. The loving style that I have actually developed is that for longing. I'm looking for longing with a partner. So I want to feel wanted. I want to feel needed. I want to feel loved. So I have a longing type of love style in a partner. It means like if they show me a bit of love, I latch onto it, and I don't want to let it go, especially if I'm feeling it from a heart space. I latch onto it very hard and fight for it. This is because of my abandonment issues from the past. It makes me feel, when I feel real love, in a partner, in a connection. Could even be in a friendship. I've done it with some of my friendships, close friendships. When I feel it within my soul, within my heart, I try and fight for it and latch onto it very strongly. Sometimes they've lasted a long time and I've had beautiful relationships. Some beautiful, some very unhealthy ones, but none really long lasting. And that was, I didn't know it at the time because I've only just learned all this as well. It was an unhealthy, longing type of love situation. I also, another side to loving style that I put into my relationships is mothering and mothering my children. I actually over mother. It's called, what did the doctor call it? Helicopter parenting. So I helicopter parent my children. This is another example of trauma from my childhood. So it stems all the way back, started when I was 7 years old, from my father leaving. Okay? So now I helicopter parent my children. I don't actually have, I'll get to that bit in a minute. I'm getting way ahead of myself here because there's so much I want to get out to you from what I have learned. And I really hope you take the time to watch this introduction so you can understand the effects of trauma and how it stays with us and how we relive it and how it affects our amygdala, because it is a really serious topic and it is something we can hopefully overcome from learning about it and healing it. But an effect of trauma from my childhood is that I helicopter parent my children, and that is my way of showing them love. I worry about them way too much. I pick out their clothes for them, I draw a bath for them, I answer for them, I don't let them answer for themselves, I over parent them to the point of craziness. It's like OCD when it comes to parenting. Sometimes it's even affected the trauma that I've experienced as a child and not getting the, real love poured into me. It kind of hasn't taught me how to love as well. So I don't have a really good motherly instinct. The way I show my children love is by buying them things and over parenting them. So I have developed two different love styles. I have the over mothering, helicopter parent, and then the longing for something or someone love style. So I have developed two very unhealthy types of love. And it could be different for every single person you meet. And this stems from the trauma that we experienced during our life. I hope this is making sense to you. Other things that trauma has done for me is accept less than my worth. Because I'm just longing for someone to love me so badly, I have just let men treat me so badly, and it has been very unhealthy. The worst relationship I ever had was and if you've watched my video about addressing the past, you would know that I was in a domestic violence marriage and it went for a few years and I was lucky to be alive, okay? So that was what the trauma from stemming from my childhood and how these men had treated me so badly over all these years. I just accepted it as a form of love because I didn't know any different, and that's from trauma. And going through a domestic violence relationship put me down to a whole nother level. You don't think you're worthy, you think you're worthless. If you've gone through DV, you will know exactly how it is. They make you feel like you're nothing. They make you feel like nobody will want you. You feel worthless and useless, and you feel like you can't have anything or anyone. Even when you lose everything, you feel like you're not worth living. Like, you get to rock bottom, and it's a horrible place to be. I've gone through quite a lot of trauma. The trauma I've faced, and over those years, during that domestic violence marriage, that was probably the toughest trauma I've ever endured. I was getting beaten every day. I lost my two youngest children because of the beatings I was enduring. So I was trying to get my way out of this marriage safely from forming a safe exit strategy with my counsellor, and then getting beaten at night, or getting beer bottles thrown at my head at night, or getting, whatever he felt like doing to me, he did to me. Getting that treatment at night, and then during the day covered in bruises, going and visiting my children because I wanted to try and maintain that relationship as well, knowing that they're out of the house and safe, though was somewhat relief to me, but I was dying inside silently because they had been taken and I couldn't be their mother. But myself, I was trying to survive that. But the trauma of going through that relationship, losing the children, getting beaten, and then just fighting for your life. Just, my mother even says to me, she doesn't know how I'm alive to this day, but I tell you what, those years, and this was, I'm talking 2014 to 2016, it was only 3 years, but the trauma it did to my life, and I'm still living with the repercussions today of those actions, and it's horrible. But this is where my amygdala comes in. So our amygdala is in our limbic system, in our brains, and it is, I think it's a little oval shape. Sorry, don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure it's just a round little almond shape or circle shape like this. Our amygdala is an amazing thing. It's where we live. It's where all our emotional reactions come from. It's where fight and flight come from. It's where our emotional behavior and trauma stems from. It is an amazing little function in our brain, okay? It's where our happiness comes from. It's where our dopamine levels come from. It's where everything, all our emotional controls come from. Think of Riley in that, what is that Disney movie? No, I can't remember it. Riley in that kids movie, and all those little things are running around in her brain. It's like that. The amygdala controls all our emotions, okay? My amygdala is so damaged from traumatic events happening within my life that stem all the way back to childhood. Beatings. It's taken like so much trauma. It's at the point now, I think, that those years 2013, 2016 have actually taken its toll. And now it's at the point where my emotions are affected. As I said, I don't have good judge of character when it comes to partners. I was accepting less than my worth, but I have been working a lot with myself and healing myself over the last 2 years, obviously. And now I know my worth and I'm in a better place, definitely. But my amygdala went on to protect myself because it had so much damage being done to it. It actually, because my amygdala had so much damage and trauma been done to it, it actually put up a defense. It kind of put up a wall. Okay, here's my amygdala. All right, we'll use our hematite. That's my amygdala, okay? This is my emotional response system. Bam, 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 bam. So much trauma hitting on it, okay? It's now put up a wall. It doesn't know how to feel anymore. 4 years of therapy, lots of healing, lots of bad relationships and lessons learned still learning, still growing. Only learnt about this last week because the trauma of the past that I had thought had healed from myself kept coming up over and over and over again. And I was like, whoa, why am I feeling so bad? Why can't I heal from this? What is actually going on inside of me? I had no clue. So I went back to basics. Research is your number one thing you can do. If you don't understand what's going on with you or how you're feeling, research. See a specialist, talk to someone, find out the reasoning behind the why of what's happening, okay? It all comes down to this little fella, our amygdala. Trauma, defense. I have to now learn. It's like a baby learning to walk. I have to learn how to feel emotions and love all over again. The damage over the years has been so traumatic and so bad within my own life. I'll give you examples of how bad it is. The love I feel for my children is not a genuine mother's love. It should be unconditional, beautiful soul love, okay? And I do love them. I know I do feel that inside of me, but I can't act upon it. I can't show them. I can't express it. When I go to express it, this wall comes up. This wall of protection. It's like, no, you can't express love because you've been too hurt. Nope, stop there. So I know what I need to do, but it just won't let me do it. This is where helicopter mum comes in and makes up for can't express love mum. Okay? It's really sad. It's heartbreaking. And then we have, well, even with my own mother, I know I love her. I know I want to have a beautiful connection with her. Even when it gets to the point of hugging her or kissing her goodbye, I know I want to do it, but I was like, no, can't do it. Amygdala goes up. Bam, can't do it. There's so much trauma that has happened to my amygdala that it's now at the point where it is protecting me by putting that wall up and not letting me function properly. I hope you understand this. I hope you're keeping up with me, okay? So, in this reading, I'm wanting to touch on what the problem is. Remember, it's a general reading. It can cover a lot of people. Only take the parts of your story that resonate for you, okay? Leave behind what doesn't. As you say, always do what's right for you and leave behind what doesn't resonate with you, okay? But I'm wanting to find out a bit about your story. Hopefully it helps a few of you. And I want to give advice as well, okay? Hopefully this helps you guys, from me explaining a bit about the amygdala and how it controls our emotional, or the way we act. It's our emotional control base within our brain, okay? And I want you guys, if you have gone through trauma like I have, I want you to be able to acknowledge it and actually, work on healing your amygdala so you can get back to a place of goodness within your own life, because it is affecting my life, not like really badly, because I still show love to my children, obviously, but it's not the kind of love that I want to show to them, and I want to get back to being okay. I don't think I'll ever be 100% okay, but I want to get back to being okay, and one way of doing that is by helping you guys, bringing this to your guys' attention, because I had no clue what all this was about before I actually did the video, but I want to bring this to your guys' attention so I can help you understand it as well. Hopefully it will help you to understand you a bit better. Now let's talk about some fun stuff, ways of healing your amygdala. Obviously it's not going to be fixed overnight. It is going to take some time. Therapy is really good. I was even thinking of going back to a therapist myself, because talking about your experiences out loud is always therapeutic. There's a waves zone, like the wave zones in our head. Is it wave zone? I can't remember the word. Like little beeping thing. The delta waves, sorry, blonde moment. Delta waves in our head. Justin Bieber went through this therapy. It's called havening. The Kardashians have wrote about it in a Push article. Justin Bieber went through delta wave treatment to help with his emotional trauma. It's called havening. Do some research on it. Find a havening specialist to help with your emotional trauma as well, if that helps you. Also, you can this is what I'm doing. I found a amygdala emotional trauma healing meditation on YouTube. I actually, there's a couple of them. I've been doing one. I'll try and link it below, okay? If I forget, please write in the comments, because I always forget. And it talks, it's just lying down quiet and taking time out for yourselves and listening to the music and just letting it all go and doing that and learning to relax and letting your stress go and not overthink and not crowd your brain with all these stress and problems actually helps your amygdala shrink and calm down as well. They are the top 3 healing methods that I've found work for people, because I've done a lot of research in this and I've put a lot of articles in there, so freeze and pause them to read them, please. They will help you. But yeah, just remember, do what you need to do for you, what's best for you. Let's jump into your readings now. I'm very excited to do them. Remember, take what resonates, leave behind what doesn't. It may not be for everybody. May not. You never know. But we'll try and give you the best healing advice that I can and try and get a touch on your story, okay? See you in your readings. Bye-bye.